Fist, of course, it's the usual suspects. Yes, suspects. Joey, Will, I'm Russ. Man, lots to get to today, boys.
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Extreme Rules from Raw is come and gone, and some bit of a shake-up there as far as contenders, pretenders, and whatnot. The fatal five-way between Reigns, Rollins, Baylor, Wyatt, Bray Wyatt, that is, and Samoa.
Just Joe.
Yes.
Samoa.
Okay, as you can see, Will's like a proud papa right now. He's beaming with pride.
And I'm the one with the broken heart.
Samoa Joe pulled it off. Thoughts?
They're finally giving him a push, man.
Should have been Bray.
Should have been.
Been saying that for 2 years, man.
But here, you know what's interesting is that Samoa Joe kind of follows Bray in that he's not the typical cut guy. You know, he's not the typical guy. So he's getting his chance. Bray, where does that leave Bray Wyatt at this time? It's kind of hard to say.
Pissed off in the cold.
Yeah,
according to the rumors.
Pretty much.
He's shot anyway now, man.
Do you think?
It's going to be real hard stepping in the Undertaker's shoes.
I don't want to get into marital bliss, but I think he's shot, man. He's not going anywhere for a little while.
His cornrows are going to fall out.
Whenever I hear the name JoJo, I'm gonna.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Well, you know, he's going to be paying for it in more ways than one. Apparently.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that they would go with Samoa Joe compared to the choices that they had.
I think it's, if you look at it as a feud, it's a logical choice as an opponent for Brock Lesnar. It's logical because he's got the size, he's got the attitude, he's got the whole thing. You know, you don't have to make anything up with that. Like if it was a Finn Balor, let's say. Is he really gonna, in all honesty, is he really gonna take on Brock Lesnar? You're not so sure, but that's just my opinion.
I think he's new too. Like he's fresh compared to what's sitting there. We've seen Rollins, we've seen Reigns, we've seen these guys before. It is something fresh and new. I mean, he's the new Jinder Mahal.
Yeah.
He's the Samoa Raja.
Remix, huh?
His nipples aren't as big, though.
But I guess that, going back to what you were just saying, you brought up Finn Balor's name. Is it that Joe is just more believable of an opponent?
That we had this conversation yesterday. I believe Balor needs to go to SmackDown because the talent over there that's in the heavyweight picture is more his size. I think Balor's out of his weight class in the Raw division. He just seems like a small guy compared to these other guys he's going up against. He's the smallest guy out of that whole five-guy picture.
What about the story of like the little guy beating the big guy? He's overcoming all odds. Are we past that kind of a story?
But I think even like Daniel Bryan was a heavier little guy. He's just if that's, you know what I mean?
And notice though, Daniel Bryan never went against any other than Triple H, who's on the very back end of his career anyway.
Yeah.
Who did he go against that was that much larger than him?
Kane.
But I mean, there were one-off matches with Kane or Big Show or whatever. I see what we're doing here. Daniel Bryan marks all of you. That's what I see here. No, but who did he go against? Honestly, that was that much bigger in size. Because look at what Brock Lesnar did. He destroyed Cena last summer. You know what I mean? Like he said, they book him as a monster.
He's destroyed everybody.
Yeah, they book him as a monster. They need somebody to go against him, and that's why I said Joe is the natural thing, because we've seen, like you said, we've seen Reigns and everything else. So
we haven't seen Braun Strowman though.
That's going to be good too.
That's going to be a fight right there.
Yeah.
But the thing about Braun Strowman, and I like him. I mean, I like his makeup. I like his
Where's makeup?
presence. He's got presence. I mean, how can you not when you're 6'8", 380 pounds?
Yeah.
You can do the kickflip,
Right.
to your feet.
That blew me away.
But it's like,
And he got the show over.
Those were great matches.
They were, man. That's what I'm saying. He got Big Show over, and Big Show at his age can barely go.
But but I guess what the WWE may have to be careful about is only the big guys can hold the belt, kind of a thing. I mean you don't. But again, you want the best guys
True.
to hold the belt, but you don't want to just give it to a big guy just for the sake of. And I think that's.
I want the belt to go to somebody who actually is on the show.
Well, yeah.
Somebody's salty about that still.
It's annoying.
Put a little pepper on that too.
Yeah,
But I guess that's something to. Should they be careful about that kind of a thing, or?
I would say, if you look at the booking for the past 2-3 years since the dawn of the little man, I would say, since the Daniel Bryan age, and they pushed Seth Rollins hard, and I'm not saying they won't go back to someone like that who's not a huge monster, but not that it didn't work. But they did that for a couple of years now. They're kind of turning it back to where Brock Lesnar's a monster. You got Strowman. Reigns is who they're trying to push. I don't know if that's still even a thing, but But you know what I mean? Like, it looks like they've switched it back a little bit because they did give the guys who weren't as big a shot.
I agree. I mean, you get a more exciting match out of the smaller guys. They could do more acrobatic things in the ring and put on a little bit different of a show. But at the same time, it's the heavyweight champion. Well, it's not even the heavyweight championship anymore. It's the world title and all this other stuff. But
Universal Championship.
Yes. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still the heavyweight championship.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I think you give it to the best guy. Whether he's Finn Balor, whether he's Roman Reigns, whomever.
Bray Wyatt.
Bray. Our boy Bray. But
Fireflies.
The double B. But I just think that you have to give it to the best guy. I think the problem that they have sometimes is that Vince is stuck in the Hulk Hogan era, the Ultimate Warrior era, the back then, the chiseled weightlifter kind of a thing. And to me, you're missing out on other performers that could really put on a show for the fans and show up on the show. But
who's the most over person on SmackDown right now? Daniel Bryan. And he's not even a performer anymore. You know what I mean?
And he hasn't been on.
But you saw the pop on Tuesday night when he came out. That whole crowd. Yes, yeah, you know what I mean. The whole thing.
But as far as he in-ring performer,
yeah,
we'll say.
And I just bring that up because I mean I don't know. I mean you're correct. Vince does have a type that he likes to hold the title. But
it's an image thing. It's always been an image thing.
At the same time, who's going to sell the most shirts, merchandise, the whole deal. But at the same time, I think they did, like I said, both, you had Daniel Bryan and Seth Rollins, both your champ, the most over guys in the company, both of them.
Yep.
Almost at around the same time. I mean, Daniel Bryan might have gotten hurt, and then Seth Rollins kind of slid in there. But, who wins 2 matches in one night to win the heavyweight championship?
Right.
True.
Daniel Bryan did it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm just saying, I think he gave it a shot.
Right.
Right. And I think it worked for a little while. I just think with wrestling, everything changes so fast as far as what the fans want. It's very fickle.
Yes.
The new splash in the pan, guy comes out with makeup as the Demon Lord or the Demon King. It's just a splash in the pan. They gave him a shot. He hurt his shoulder, and
now he's in the Intercontinental Championship or something, or the U.S. belt or whatever he's doing now. They after that match that we're discussing now, what they do with him? They pushed him down to
Yep, but the ultimate question at this time is: do they have the guts to put the belt on Joe?
Please do it. Please do it.
It all comes down to Brock's contract.
It could very well be that.
Because if they're shooting for Reigns and him at WrestleMania, is he going to hold it till WrestleMania, or is he going to win it back, say, halfway through?
But that's the thing. I mean, if you give the belt to Joe, he goes totally against what your stance is.
And if
as
you
far
give it
as
to
like,
Joe, does he become a Heyman man?
Your crazy conspiracy theories, Joe.
I just want to see more Paul Heyman. What can I say?
No, I know.
but you know what though? How many times have we had this conversation back in the day? And I'll bring up this story. Back in the day, Mr. Fuji was managing
Demolition.
And they were going up against the Powers of Pain. Mr. Fuji dumps Demolition right after the match, and this is at a pay-per-view, if memory serves.
Yep.
And dumps Demolition and goes with the Powers of Pain. Could we see something similar? It's a wild idea, I know.
The reason why I said a conspiracy theory, because Lesnar would be on an island by himself without Paul Heyman. Unless you what are you going to do? Give him Enzo Amore to talk for him? Who's going to talk for Brock Lesnar unless he retires?
Does Brock go away for a little while and then come back a few months later after Joe loses? And
then are they going to? Would Brock Lesnar ever reconcile with anybody who scorned him? I don't think so. I don't think there would ever be. That character is too much of a monster to. If somebody screwed him over, you're dead to him, man. That's personal opinion, but
do you? But to me, a show that needs personalities, you have a great personality there.
But I just think Joe's such a good talker.
Well, maybe not necessarily Joe, but I'm just saying you have a great personality, and a show that lacks personality in a lot of ways. Don't you have to find a way to get him on the show more?
But how popular is Paul Heyman with Vince McMahon? That's the question.
That's the question.
That's the
Yeah,
question.
true.
Because I personally, I mean, they've healed wounds from the past. So he's been on TV, God, now between CM Punk and Brock Lesnar, it's been like 3-4 years at least now. But there was a long-standing feud there that was, I come and go as I please now with Brock, and you know what I mean. Like, he's not on TV that often, so I don't know.
a shame.
I mean, it is a shame because you know what when you say the phrase he knows what he's doing, you can say without a shadow of a doubt, Paul Heyman knows what he's doing when he's in a wrestling ring with a microphone.
His Heyman guys get over.
They do.
They get a pop. They get everything.
Even Curtis Axel got over for a bit.
I was just gonna say that you think Curtis Axel got over
for a bit
because of Heyman.
Because of Heyman.
Yeah, because he was trying to build a stable. Well, all right. I mean, maybe for a week he got over.
He did.
But,
he did. He did.
And
but
why not want to pick up a new stable with the new WWE Champion?
I'm not going back to the stable thing. I invested so much time and effort into that around WrestleMania that they left us lying flat with the start of a stable. I'm done with it.
They scorned us.
Yes.
They scorned us.
Done.
It was the shakeup.
But here's hoping that they give Samoa Joe the belt and just Samoa Joe the belt, and hopefully we can get some kind of a new direction. But we'll have to wait and see. And also with Extreme Rules, The Miz becomes the new Intercontinental Champion, and some interesting happenings with The Miz.
He lugs teddy bears.
Fill in your joke there. He is a champ, but some happenings.
Let's get to his entourage.
Just go right to the entourage.
I'm over the Miz and Dean Ambrose. I'm over that.
I believe you're correct.
Yes, yeah.
I'm over him. I'm over it. But I really enjoy. Like I said, didn't mean to skip the topic, but I think the entourage is a fantastic idea.
You know what? When he went up to Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel backstage and said, if you want to join something, if you want to be part of the entourage, I can make you guys into stars or whatever like that. And right then and there, I'm like, could it be possible that they would join him?
Okay, but I'll tell you what. Best line I've heard in a long time on Raw is when he's cutting that promo with those two, and he tells Curtis Axel that he goes, and you can go have a match at the catering table if you want. I lost it. I lost my mind. It was so funny. I do it no justice either, so just so we are all aware. But it was so funny. Anyway,
I do like the new aggressive Bo Dallas too.
Yes.
Yep.
Like,
It's good stuff.
impressive. Like, although he's a little weird yelling at.
Yeah, the yelling part was a bit strange. But
Like it.
But you know what though? What's really weird about Bo Dallas is that he's growing a beard.
And he's
Yeah.
lost a shit ton of weight.
He looks
Looks
good
good.
though. He looks good. But you know what's weird is that he's looking more and more like his brother.
I'd
well,
like to
they're
see.
going to need a replacement for Bray Wyatt on TV.
Yeah, he should
Shut
be.
your face, man.
Oh my goodness.
It should
What?
be the Wyatt brothers and not the Wyatt family.
They're
It also sets up the road down the line when they split up and you got a feud there too.
But you know what though? I think this is a great opportunity for Bo Dallas because now
Show
he's
his
going to be on TV now. He really is a good in-ring talent.
Yeah, he's a good hand.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but now he gets to develop that persona a little bit. That whole belief thing.
That was the worst.
That was
I
horrible.
liked it in the beginning. I thought
Can
it
I
was
slap
funny. Later.
Please.
I
I
like-
couldn't do it. The Bo Dallas.
I
No,
liked
it was
it.
awful.
I liked it in the beginning, but then it's one of those gimmicks that it might make you laugh for a bit, and then all of a sudden it was like, okay, we got to move on.
Supposed to make us laugh.
I giggled. I laughed. It's
Believe that.
But you know what though? But again, it gives him a chance to develop that persona, give him some airtime, get him in the ring. Because if anything else, they need some good in-ring workers on that show. And Curtis Axel, he's always been a good in-ring worker.
Good hand.
He's a henchman. He's a
Perfect word, henchman.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
yeah. I mean, he's your perfect henchman type of a guy. Never going to be like the star. Might hold the Intercontinental belt. Maybe as a transitional champion down the road. He's already done that
Could have a
once
tag team
before.
championship with the two of them.
A tag team championship would be perfect for those two.
That
Throw
way
them
you
in the
have
tag
everybody
team
has
ring.
gold in that little click.
Yeah, I mean, but I think that really has some potential there to work. Maybe not so much for the Miz because we can't stand the guy,
Yeah.
but for those two, I think it's great.
Oh yeah, I agree. I think they'll do well with it. As long as they're given the TV time needed. You know what I mean?
Right.
10 minutes in the middle of Raw. That's what they're going to get. You know.
right.
But I think it'll work well. I think and they need to be reinvigorated. Some new faces, some old / new faces. I think it's good. I think.
Well, you know what? I mean, I would like to see those two get a push as a tag team, as you had just said, because now Sheamus and Cesaro are tag champs. It's like, okay, we don't know what to do with you two, so we're
It's
just
those awesome, awkward high fives at the end of the match that I love.
Oh my God!
Yeah, no, they're
Yeah,
awful, man.
but
they're not awful though. Are they awful? I don't know.
But here's the thing:
The heel turn turned him awful. I think it was just it was flat.
well, they've been flat for years. I mean, Sheamus has been flat for years.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, we
They've
don't.
repackaged, rebooked that guy so many times now.
Oh, that
Well,
hair.
that and he was in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles too. So
Oh my goodness.
he was in Bebop or Rocksteady or one of the two.
But it's like, this is a classic case of we don't know what to do with you. We're just going to throw you two as a tag team and see what happens. Okay, you guys are kind of working well together. We'll just throw the belts on you just because.
I mean, even their entrance is still awkward. Like when they come, it just nothing gels together except for them possibly entering.
I still have to just look away when Sheamus goes on TV because that's. Like I believe you said it,
The human jar
mayonnaise. Oh
Yeah.
my God! But Alexa Bliss still the women's champ. Yeah.
She seems kind of awkward. I don't know. Like the past couple vignettes they've done with her after the Bailey, the kendo stick match, which was at that period, the Extreme
Yeah.
Rules. The vignette before the match, the Raw before the Go Home show was awful. That was so awkward with the family member. It was so weird. And then the one afterwards, like the crowning of her or whatever.
It's the
I'm not a big
terrible
fan.
shit that they do. Sorry, terrible shit that they do on Raw.
But the thing is,
SmackDown, she was good. She brought her to Raw, and
she
she
didn't
just
talk a lot.
flat.
She's great on the mic. She is.
She's good, but she's not getting the pop that like that whole Mean Girl thing that she's doing right now is not. You hear the crowd is dead. It is
Because she wants to be Harley Quinn.
The problem that one of
the Freddy Krueger outfit was awesome though.
that was pretty good.
awesome.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway, sorry.
The problem that you have with Alexa Bliss and with pretty much with the whole women's division is that the chemistry's been thrown off, especially with the superstar shakeup.
They took out the cog that ran that division, and that's Flair.
But you know what though, she's kind of miscast and she's not totally.
I think it's the competition on both sides.
Yeah.
They were totally different. You had matches between Charlotte and Sasha that were amazing.
Right.
You put her over on SmackDown, and the talent at that angle's not there for her.
And then you put Sasha on 205 Live.
Yep.
But
I understand why they did it,
Right.
But then
because
you pull
205 Live is getting no viewership either. I don't want to get into that,
No.
but
it's not.
Then you pull Bliss out of, she's the big fish in a little pond over there, put her on Raw, and she's just getting lost in that whole mix herself.
The whole thing about that is that when you have people that have chemistry in the ring, you can't just simply interchange that. It's like replacing Charlotte with Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is a totally different style of wrestler, totally different style of character,
Different size.
different style.
her and Becky Lynch were a perfect match. Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch. They're both basically the same size. It worked well.
It worked well. I mean, now you have Charlotte, who's,
She's above and beyond all of them.
She is.
As much as I dislike her because she just looks like Ric Flair with tits, I mean, she really does. But she's one hell of a performer.
she is
She's great.
She is.
I will give her all the credit where credit's due. I mean, she goes out there and gives her all.
Another case of the superstar shakeup screwing things up. Speaking of screwing things up, Big Cass, Enzo Amore, who attacked.
How you doing?
Joey.
How you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah.
How you doing?
Hey, I have to give Enzo credit for the lonely teardrop that went down his cheek. He deserves like a daytime Emmy or something for that one.
Yeah. I wish I had an Oscar statue for that one. It was,
But seriously, what the? They had a good thing going there.
Yep.
They really did.
It's like turning Hulk Hogan heel. You took the two biggest guys that get the biggest pop, that are the fun part of Raw, and you broke them up.
Okay, A1. Did you just compare Hulk Hogan's heel turn to this? Because that was like the biggest thing in wrestling in 20 years.
All right, not so much that, but you took the fun, the comic relief, the pop, that break from all the
And
mediocrity that's going on.
yeah.
And broke it up.
And B, those two, ever since the Hardys came back,
Yep.
Well, they
fell
lost.
off.
Yeah.
They fell off the radar. I can't remember the last match they had together on TV. I mean, there might have been one, but I can't think of it. Like when the Hardys came back and got the push, those two fell off the radar, man. They were done. And
But here's the thing.
they fell flat.
But the Hardys are getting stale now.
Yeah,
Well, that's because they're
we're waiting for something.
Everybody's waiting around for the broken gimmick.
and it's
Yeah.
not coming.
Nope.
It's not gonna. It's the broken. I think we have to face facts that the
I
broken
think they
gimmick
need
is
to
dead.
reimagine a different way of coming around with it.
But
a
you know
different
what, though?
broken gimmick.
I think push number 2 comes after starts at SummerSlam or after.
But you know what though? If they do that, they make themselves look worse
Right.
than originally. I mean, because they stole a gimmick from Impact Wrestling.
That'll never. Everybody knows.
It's-
People who know who either care or
Right.
are in the know. No, they didn't steal it. But when I say they're going to get a push,
Yep.
it might not be a tag team push. It might just be a Jeff Hardy push.
And Matt Hardy's going to be left
As usual.
as usual in the back.
Hey, you know,
That's-
we don't run the business. You know what I mean? But
Here's the question, too, and I'm sorry to go back, but now that you have that Enzo and Kaz split, it's not like Enzo can go in the ring and fight him like they normally do when tag teams break up. But what do you even do with that? Does Big Show fight his battle for him and they become a tag team because Enzo needs that?
Well, there's not much you can do with Enzo in the ring.
No.
205 Live.
Yeah.
I mean, was it? Did it seem rushed? Did it seem like because
Yeah, they could have not milked it, but they could have ran that for at least another 3 weeks.
I mean, at least till SummerSlam. Don't
They
you
could
think?
even have done the usual in the middle of a match, turn on them type of deal.
That's what I was expecting. I guess that's what when they finally did it, it was like
It was awkward.
It was, but Kaz, as we said, shot his best promo he's ever had.
he did. He really
That
did.
was probably the best he's ever been. I mean, it wasn't soft at all.
Thank God, I'm so glad I never have to hear that again.
I'm just happy that I can spell it right again.
Yeah, exactly. Like I don't want to go down this road, but I enjoyed the beginning part of it. But when Cass had to start doing the soft thing,
And it wasn't even horrible. It was the
yeah, whatever.
he was getting his cardio. I mean, but
True.
But
But I think the Kurt Angle part of that whole when they broke up, it wasn't so much. I think Cass and Enzo did a fine job with what they were given, but Kurt Angle, come on, man.
He's such a
It's
character.
2017. You couldn't have looked at the videotapes.
the
which
hold
looked
on.
fake as hell to begin with.
We have security footage.
Yeah. How does Corey Graves have it, but you don't? What? Like, that was the worst part of it. That was the part that got me. Like, come on, man.
I think I can help here. We happen to have some security footage.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, well, gee, Cass, you're walking around in the back.
Yeah.
And they lays down slow. It was terrible.
But
it really was.
But the thing is, though, this is a classic case of two guys that are going. At least the way I see it, maybe you guys feel the same way. Two guys that are going in opposite directions. Because Big Cass is now set up to get a huge push right now, and then Enzo. What do you do with him? I mean, just like what he was saying,
Do
what
they
Joey
bring
was
him
saying.
back down somewhere? Or do you drop him down to NXT?
You were right. Either he's going to be a mouthpiece for somebody or he's going to 205
Yeah,
Live.
he very well could be the next manager for somebody or something. He's better than Titus ONeil, that's for damn sure.
But you know what? I like Titus. I mean, I like the Titus brand thing. It's not a great. It's nothing.
It's a broke
great.
Paul Heyman.
It's not. It's nothing great. It's nothing that's going to be main eventing or anything like that. But I think it has its place.
Yeah, sort of comic relief.
Comic relief. I mean, and it gives Apollo Crews, who's never gotten a pop in his life for whatever reason. He's a great in-ring talent.
Well, hands down, yes.
I mean, but it's like just nothing after that.
I don't even know if I've ever watched one of his matches.
Seen a couple there.
Yeah, I think I may have hit the mute button or something and walked away.
You may have. You just don't remember.
Yeah, but that's how much he needs Titus ONeil.
He's got great athletic talent, though. I mean, he's a mover
does.
for a big boy. He can move.
Yeah. I mean, he does. I mean, he's like
carrying luggage.
He's like 6'2". He's like 6'2", about 250 pounds. But anybody that can do a standing backflip, that's athleticism.
At that size.
That is at serious athleticism. But going forward, I mean, is Big Cass the cookie cutter going forward?
I'll tell you in 3 months when he's fighting Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Big guy. You got to put him up in that echelon.
He fits what they like.
He's the new Test.
I was going to call him Test Light, but yeah, I didn't know if the reference would be caught right away. But yeah, he basically looks like Test. If there's a doppelganger for that dude, there he is. You're looking at him. But my thing with Cass is he needs some work, some serious work. He's still super green, man. He's still, you can watch it in the ring. You can see it. He needs work.
Yeah.
Here's the thing: is this new turn on Kaz going to be? Is he going to be aggressive? Is he going to be a little bit different? That might be more his style than what they've kind of watered him down to be.
Yeah. I mean,
are the Wombats holding him back?
I mean, it's almost like when Enzo comes out and says he's 7 feet tall. You can't teach that. You really can't.